So hello, this is Donna from Donna's Creative Space. I'm here today, still jiggling around. Hey Lori, happy Friday. How are you doing? How's your arm? For after your shot? Mine's pretty good. I still have a little bit of a lump. But it hurts if I, like we were talking last night, if I press on it, it hurts. So I just can't press on it. So anyway, I'm here today to show you this stamp set, Garden Shed. It is retiring. It is on, if you're interested in looking at it up close, it's in your catalog on page 129. It's got a nice big stamp, but then it's got these cute little ones. You feeling great? Good. I'm glad. That was your second shot, so it's good to see you here. And so anyway, back to the stamp. So it's got these cute little little stamps and then this nice big one. So today I'm going to show you what I did with them. So see this card here? That is in the catalog. I decided to kind of case that, which when we talk about casing, it's C-A-S-E. Copy and share everything. That's what Stampin' Up likes us to do. So I decided I'm going to make that over. So this is my version. It's a little different, but very similar in some ways. So I am going to show you how I made that today. And I also, let me get rid of my catalog, move that away. I'm also going to show you how I did this one and how I colored it. So let's get started. We got only just Lori here so far. Hopefully some others will pop in. But then again, it's nice to have Lori here. It's like I have my own little session with Lori. So anyway, like I said, this stamp is retiring. It's really a pretty one for coloring, and I haven't used the blends yet, but I decided to use my my watercolor pencils. But let's do this one first. All right, this is a nice quick one, and I have everything cut out already so that we could go faster. And this is the retiring paper, Purple Posy, which I am using it in my card class to go this month. Luckily I have enough of it, but it's no longer available. No love lost with that retiring. You don't like this one, Lori? I think it's pretty. I think these are really great images to put on like note cards or even your envelope, which is what we're going to do today. So anyway, I have a Purple Posy base. I have a Purple Posy matte. This is 3 3/4 by 5. I have a white matte for the inside. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And I have a Highland Heather matte that's 4 by 5 1/4. Then I have, let's see, this is a piece of Highland Heather. This is 1 inch by 3 3/8. And then I have a piece of basic white that's 3/4 by 3. And I always like to stamp a couple just in case. Hi Cindy, how are you? Nice to have you here today. Oh, and then I have a piece of Whisper White twine, which we'll do first because we are going to want that to dry. So this is a large stamp, so I'm going to use my Stamparatus for this. But we do have a large block, and I'm looking around. I think this one, yeah, this one would fit it. This is our block E, so if you don't have a Stamparatus, you want a big one. So a size E, or equivalent to, let's see, about almost 3.5 by, well, let me go this way, just under 4.5 by just under 3.5. So that's the size block you would need if you didn't have a Stamparatus. Now I'm going to show you what I did with the Stamparatus. But like I said, first we are going to color some, oh, excuse me while I grab a piece of scrap. We're going to color, I've already done it, but I'm going to show you how I colored this white twine. And you may have done this already. Who else is here? Oh, Christine. Hello, Christine. Oh, thank you for sharing. Nice to see you here again. Oh, Cindy, thank you for sharing too. So this is how I color my twine. You can just go across it like this, or you can hold it down and just pull your twine through it. But you have to do that a couple times because the twine twists and you might get some white space. But then let that dry. So I've already gone ahead and done this with this piece here. And this is, I forget what I cut this. I would say it looks like about 8 or 10 inches. Oh, 9 inches. I was right smack in there. All right, so I have that piece that I colored with my, that was Highland Heather. Dark Highland Heather, if I didn't tell you already. So, let's see. I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape for my ink. And I'm using this stamp here that says, plant dreams, dig out doubts, and grow a happy life. I think that's such a pretty saying. All right, so let's see. First, I wanted to show you how I stamped mine. So I'm using my Stamparatus, and this is a stamp positioning tool if you don't know that already. And what I've done, now, when I go to do the crumb cake card, I'm going to show you how I just did a bigger one and then trimmed it down. But for this one here, I figured out where I wanted it. This is a 3x5 piece of purple posy, and if I put it right in the corner, the best thing about this is to have it in the same exact you want, in case you have to ink it up and again, you want it in the same spot. So I like to use that top left corner, and I push everything up and to the left. So this would be off the side of it, and I want it a little further over. So what I did is I just made a little bit of a, with all my scrap pieces of paper, I just made a little bit of a jig. I'm not sure what you actually call it, but I figured out, you know, what I'd need for the top model and just a side piece, just in order to kind of get it more centered, because I want it more to the right. So now, and it's wider than the paper, but see, now it's a little more centered. There's a little hanging off either side instead of more hanging off on the right side. And then, let's see. So, like I said, I'm using Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to, let me see, maybe I'm not in this, let me move this down. I'm going to ink up by using my ink pad upside down. Now the thing about the Stamparatus, as long as you keep your paper in the same place, you can re-ink it if it doesn't come out dark enough in spots. So then you push it down, and then I like to put a little bit of pressure all the way around, just like that. And they have these black foam mats. This one's that thick. And sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. You just have to kind of play around with it. And I think this is good. What do you guys think? I think maybe around here I'm going to try just put a little bit more, because the top doesn't look as dark as the bottom. So I put a little more, make sure it's right up in that corner. Oh, I just got a fingerprint on there. And I stamp it again. And there you have it. So it stamps in the exact same spot. That's what's great about the Stamparatus. It's a stamp positioning tool. So now that's done, and I'll show you when we do the next card. I won't be using this little jig, but I mean, if you guys are paper crafters, you have so many scraps, so just hang on to them. Oh, to clean this, let's see, I use our oh gosh, chamois, simple chamois. Now, I cut one of mine up and I keep it in one of our cases, but this is, when it dries, it's like hard as a rock. And when you wet it, it gets soft and pliable. So it can dry up like this, and then you just run it under the water and get it really soaked up. But that's what I use to clean this when it's on my Stamparatus, because I can leave it here, because I'm going to be stamping in a different color for the next card. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And now it's clean, put my chamois away. And I like to, you can just leave it in here, but I like to leave this open to let it dry out, just so it doesn't get moldy or anything like that. Okay, so I'm going to put my Stamparatus aside till later, and we shall make this card. So I'm going to have to do something. You know what? I have one of those little, do you guys have one of these sand and rubber erasers? Sometimes you can get it You guys might not even be able to see that spot on the screen, but sometimes it'll lift off that ink. Yes, that worked. Okay, so this is going to be, this is such a simple card because it's just using one color ink and just, you know, besides white, a couple of colors of paper. So I'm going to use this one here. Now, oh, I forgot to tell you, I am using the Lovely Labels punch. And this is the punch that gives you a couple different ends. So I'm taking this piece of Highland Heather that's I think I already told you the measurements, but it's 1 by 3 3/8. I've already figured out about how long I want it. So I like to look at from the back and make sure it's kind of centered. Even though they have those grooves, sometimes it slips out of the grooves, and that came out good. And then I'm going to do the white piece in that same side, but it's going to look a little different because it's narrower. So I push that down, make sure it's centered, and punch it. So now I have my 2 pieces, and now that is all done. But this is a really nice stamps punch because, see, there's 3/4 inch, no, 1/2 inch, then 3/4, then 1 inch wide. And it makes, I don't know if you can see this because of the glare. Let me see if I can get some of those fingerprints off. But it makes a, depending on what you put in, let me see. Here's a, oh, that's too small. I wanted to grab a 1/2 inch piece and show you the difference in, I save all my pieces from the side. So if you put this in, unlock it. Watch how the end of this will look. It's kind of cool. See? Isn't that a neat? I'll put it against something dark. And then I'll do this one over here. Now this is the punch I used today. And that has a completely different, so there's the 3 ends, right? Just from one side. And then you know, get 2 different ends. So you basically have 6 different ends. You can make 6 different labels. Okay, we're not using that one today. All right, so I'm going to stamp this off to the right of, because we're going to end up putting that little bow. So I'm going to stamp this off to the right. Oh, I don't even have any grid paper out. Oh, well. All right, my head might get in the way as I lean forward so I can see what I'm doing. And that is that. I think this stamp set is, I don't know, when I saw it, I thought it was just so pretty. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm going to, we'll do the inside now that I have the ink open. So the inside, I am just using this cute little, it's like a couple of pots and a little shovel and a plant. So I'm going to put this down in the right corner. I'm going to turn this over because I have a smudge. I seem to have got my fingers into my ink today. And while I have the ink out, I do have something I want to put. There's this other stamp that has a pot. Oh, it's not too straight on my block. Let me see if I can, well, it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to put it straight on my envelope. And just going to put it in the bottom left corner of my envelope. Just to dress it up. Isn't that cute? I think so. I love these little, they look like they're pen and ink drawings. All right, so that's it for the ink and the stamping. So let's close this and burnish that. Let's put our inside in first. And I'm looking around because I don't see I just grabbed a new, my goodness. I swear, it's like, oh, it's right underneath my, sorry. Things just disappear. So what's it like where you guys are? It's absolutely beautiful today. I have my sliders open, my cat's sitting by them. It's nice and sunny out. I don't know what the temperature is. Usually I ask Alexa, but I forgot to ask her. All right, so that's our inside. Now we're gonna take our now I stamped this. I had it all set up on my stamparatus the way where I wanted it on my mat, and I want it more towards the top. So I'm going to put this now on the Highland Heather base. And that's going to go centered on here, just like that. And then it's going to go right on to our card base. Oh, come on. Sometimes these little, the seal and the seal plus, you need to coax it a little to get it out. And this is going to go on the front. And like I said, I got this from the catalog, the idea from the catalog, but I like to take a design and change it up a little. Most, a lot of us do that. I'm sure you guys do that too. So this is going to go on here, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a border around it. Oops, went over the edge a little. Just like that. Right. Now, that twine that we colored, and if you color it, like I said, make sure it's dry. Sometimes I get impatient and I'll just take a tissue and I'll go like this and run it through it. Now, you don't see anything come off now because it's dry, but if you get impatient, you can go ahead and do that. All right, so I am going to tie a knot first with my twine right around the edge here. And at first I don't really care where it goes on here because I can slide it. I tie it tight, but not too tight. And oh my goodness, it's always hard to tie knots or to tie bows when people are watching. This is one of my things. So now, sometimes I'll take something heavier to put it down on it to hold it in place. And I'm just going to tie a tiny little bow, as tiny as I can, with my chubby little fingers. And then just going to pull this out and adjust my bow, and there. Okay, so then this is going to go on dimensionals, and I'll put one like right over the twine. That'll help hold it in place. And then when I have something wide like this, I'll put them kind of not kitty corner, at a off-centered, so that the middle ones, it won't make it wibble wobble. That's a technical term. Hello, Alice. Oh, you're out in Indiana. Oh, welcome to watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. I'm putting this, so I'm going to line up the edge of the Highland Heathers, and then that way the white kind of lines up with the purple posy. And I'll put it on just like that. And then I can get my ribbon scissors out. I keep a separate pair just for cutting ribbon. That way they stay sharper. These scissors are very sharp when you get them, and they stay sharp, but they stay even sharper if you only use one pair for ribbon. And that's what I try to do. Sometimes I forget and I just grab them, but I put a little ribbon on it. That's supposed to remind me. All right, so our final thing is, and I should have done this earlier so that they would dry, but this is our Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers, but I'm just going to color a few pearls with I'm using the dark Highland Heather, and we'll let those dry for a second. Now we've already done the inside, and we've done our envelope, right? And now I'm going to put these, I also use my scissors. They kind of have a nice little dip in the point so that it helps to pick up these pearls. And I'll just put some pearls on here. It doesn't matter where you put your pearls. You can put them anywhere. I like to kind of put them where there's a lot of space. And there we have it. Isn't that pretty? Now I'll bring in the catalog again and show you how what it looks like, difference in it. And this one looks like a little bit narrower. They might have used a note card, covered a note card, but and I used the opposite. I used the different sentiment, but I basically took the same idea. And it looks like they're using the Highland, well, they might have used Gorgeous, no, I can't tell, that might be Gorgeous Grape. They might have used Gorgeous Grape and Purple Posy, but I like the Highland Heather with it. So I just thought I'd show you how I changed it around a little bit, just kind of make it my own. So that's stamping with just one color, right? And now I'm going to show you. So that's the first one. Now I'm going to show you how I did this one, because I think this one is just as nice and it's kind of fun to color. So I'm going to pull out my Stamparatus again, and I got rid of that little jig that I had in there. And where's my little bin? Okay, hang on. I got to get my little bin of products for this one. So, thank you for sharing, Alice. That's nice of you. Okay, so for this one, I'm using Early Espresso and Crumb Cake. I'm using some of this pretty scalloped lace trim. I'm using one of our blending brushes. I think these are still on back order. These are great. I'm really liking these a lot. You could use a cut up sponge. You know, we have these. Hold on, I'm grabbing one. These sponges that come circular. And hold on. Like, well, here's half one. I cut them up into pieces, so you could get 6 or 8, depending on how big you want to cut them out of this. Margaret, did I say hi to you? I can't remember. Welcome. All right, so I'm using my Stampin' Blend brush, not Stampin' Blend brush, blending brush. I happen to have a piece of, you can use just a piece of scrap paper. I'm using my silicone mat, and I have a pencil sharpener. I'm going to tie my little bow with the Sharpie Technique, and I'm coloring with watercolor pencils. Now, we have 2 sets of watercolor pencils. There's the original one. Gosh, this is a while ago. I got it as a gift when they first came out from Onstage Local I went to. And so the original set is a set of 13 for $16. And it has Real Red, Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, Early Espresso, Melon Mambo, Rich Raspberry, Pacific Point, Bermuda Bay, Basic Gray, Basic Black, and Whisper White. And the second set that came out, which they're calling it assortment number 2, has 10 in it. It's $12.50, and it has Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Granny Apple Green, Garden Green, Coastal Cabana, Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, and Gorgeous Scrape. So I think, nope, they're all current colors. But anyway, so those are the 2. I'm using the basic one, but there are a couple that I could use in the regular one. And I have a soft suede Stampin' Blend. Okay, so let's see. Let me get rid of some of the stuff. All right, let's start out with the paper. All right, now I have a soft suede card base. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a mat for the inside, which this is, oops, I have scribbling on one side, 4 by 5 1/4. That's for our inside mat. Now I have another piece. This could just be a scrap, but what I've done is I've cut it the height I want, because I know where the I don't want to stop my phone when I'm filming. I turned off my house phone, and I also don't know, maybe one of you guys know, if I turn the volume and the media button sound on my phone down, will that affect my Facebook Live? I don't know about that. Maybe one of you guys know. Okay, so back to this. So I have a bigger piece. I have it the height I want, 5 1/4, but I cut it 4 1/2 because, like I said before, I want to send to this, and then I'm going to trim it down myself. Then I have a piece of crumb cake. If this is crumb cake, if I didn't say so, that is 5/8 by 3 1/4. That's for our sentiment. So we're going to start with the Early Espresso, and that's what I'm going to use to ink up my stamp. All All right, so I'm going to put my magnet. These are really strong magnets too that come with this. And I'm going to stamp this down. And yeah, it's not, I mean, see how I have extra here? I purposely did that because I want to trim it down myself. So now I'll check. And it's a little lighter than I would like. Sometimes it's just a matter of the pressure. So I make sure it's back up in the corner again and press it down again. That's what I love about the Stamparatus. Oh, nice and dark now. And then I'll grab the wet one. And I'll wipe down. This might be off screen, but like I said, I like to use my chamois when my stamp is on the Stamparatus. Alright, so that's done. Let me take the magnet off. Let me get this out, and I can put away my Stamparatus. Oops, and put away this. Okay, so back to this. Now, I'm going to trim this down, and I would like it a little bit less. I want 4 inches wide, right? So it's already the height I need, I think. I'll be sure I did it. Yep, it's 5 1/4 already, but I did it 4 1/2 just so that I could trim it down later. So I'm going to start by taking a little off this side, right, with my blade. Just a smidge, that's about 1/8 inch. And now when I do that 4 inches from this side, yeah, that's going to be perfect. Just like that. So now it's kind of centered on the page. So now I have 4 by 5 1/4, which is perfect. And what I've done, let's see. Oh my goodness. All right, so you're going to get your pencils out, and I'm going to try to go through this fast because it is boring watching someone else color. But I use the old olive, and I think the brushes, I mean the pencils work better. These are watercolor pencils, so you can use them to watercolor too, but I'm just using them as just regular pencils. So I'm gonna go through, and I'll do this one. I'm gonna try to go fast because I know you guys don't want to have to sit there and watch me through this entire thing. So I'll get all the bushes and some of the ground that is around the pots that looks like it would probably be. And I'm not real careful about this tree over here. Maybe I should move in. Let me see if I can zoom in. Let's see. How's that? That might be better. Let me see what it comes out to on here. So just doing the green. This is Old Olive. And like I said, there's different colors in each. Right? And you could just put this down without coloring it in. In fact, I may not color this whole thing like I did before. I think I'll just leave it more, just a couple of colors, more muted. And I'll color the house, or the shed, I should say. Garden shed, that's the name of the stamp, Donna. And I'll just go around some things. I think I will. I'm not going to color it as much as I did. And I'll just see how maybe I'll just use a couple of colors. In fact, let's see. So the cross hatching over here has already created kind of to make it look like it's a little bit darker. So I think I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I am just going to do 3 colors, I think. I'm going to do this brown, right? So on this one, see how I did all these different colors? I think I'm going to leave this more muted. So I think I'm just going to work with these 3 colors. That's what I'm doing today. I just feel like it. So I'll put a little bit of gray in here. The shovels, right? And let's see. Do I want to put it? Well, maybe I'll do a little bit on the roof. Just a little bit. Just to bring out some color. Maybe the little peak. Or what's that called? Fascia board? Something like that. And do I want to do any more gray? What do you guys think? I'm trying to decide. Maybe I'll do the doorway, a little on the door, but not the frame. I'll just do the door itself maybe. Because I'll show you what I'm going to do to kind of mute it anyway. I'm going to do the frame too. Yep. All right, that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to leave it like this. I think I like this now. This will be a little bit different than my original. Okay, so the inside, I'm going to put this little stamp again. Just in the bottom right corner with the early espresso again. And then we're going to do some blending with this brush. So I'm going to put away my pencils and some of my scraps. Oh, I almost threw away the piece that I have to stamp the sentiment on. Oh, and I put away this. I need this. All right, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. And let's see. Make sure that it looks okay. And I think I'll have to stand up for this one so my head doesn't get in the way. All right. Okay, so now comes, let me close this up because I'm not using this. Oh, you're right, Lori. Thank you. Huh. Sorry about that. Thank you for... Am I all out now? I think so. All right. Thank you. Thank you for telling me, Lori. I always forget to do that. And then I end up with the video of just my knuckles. All right. So if you don't have, you could pull out some scrap paper. Let's see. Either use some grid paper. I lost my sentiment. Or like I said, the silicone mat. This works good because then you can just rinse it off afterwards. And let's see, I think I'll use that on top of this. And we're going to use crumb cake. But I like the paper too because you want to start off, you don't want to go right from your ink pad, right from your ink. So you ink this up and you can kind of brush it across or tap it, whatever works for you. And I like to get a little bit off first. And what I did on the other one, like I said, I did color different colors, but right now I think I like this one. It looks more natural looking. And I'm going to leave like some of the things are just plain the crumb cake. But anyway, so I already started it on the outside. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to just give it some dimension by sponging around the edge. I don't know. I tend to, I don't hold these way down here, just so you know. I'm afraid, I don't know if it would happen, but I'm afraid I would break it. And I don't want to do that. All right. So what I'm also going to do, and I did this a little bit on this one, but it's hard to see. I didn't like the shininess of the pencil. So what I did was I got this inked up again, you know, took what I needed to off of it, and I kind of went over the whole centerpiece like this. And I just think it kind of, you know, I liked what it did to it. It kind of, and it still looks good without all those colors. I'll have to let you guys vote and see whether you like the colors or not. All right. So that's it for that. But now, another thing is, I wanted this to be sponge too. So I'm kind of going around the edge. Whoop, got my thumb. All right, let me see. Okay, and it just to make it look kind of antique-ish. Then the ribbon, where did I put the ribbon? Okay, so you need about 8 inches of this ribbon to do my Sharpie technique. I mean, if you have plenty of it, just cut 9 or 10 inches. But I also want to make this look a little antique-ish. So I'm going to just go in and put some of this on here. And if you don't have the silicone mat, you just do it on your paper. But see how it's changed the color? And I think you don't have to do the back, but some parts might show when I do my, oops, I don't know which is the back. There. I want to make sure that I when I tie it right. But I just thought this kind of made it nice antique-y, if that's a word, antique-y. All right, now I'm going to get a wipe, baby wipe out, and because my fingers, I want to clean them up a bit. Oh, one more thing. Oops, before I use my baby wipe, I forgot. Now, I'm not going to put anything, I didn't color this with anything. I suppose I could. I put away my pencils. Hang on a sec. Maybe I'll just do, just to give it something, I'll just do the pots. Oh, know what I could do? I'm going to do the same 3 colors. You can tell I'm winging it, huh? There's a little bit of flower bud on there, so I won't color that in. I don't like how and maybe I'll do the handle of that and the gray. All right. So those are the 3 colors I used. Those were basic gray, old olive, and early espresso. Then I'm not going to do the whole edge. Well, maybe I should. Yeah, I guess I will. So I'm going to open this again. I got to remember to stay centered so you guys can see. And I'm going to start it off and then go on the inside. And I'll just do a little bit on the edge just to make the inside match. Right? We don't want it to look different. I'll go a little bit more on, right on the image. And it takes away some of the color, kind of mutes it down. But I think I like that. And I think I like this one now that I didn't, without adding all that other color. Now I'll use my baby wipe. And so like I said, you could run this through, through underwater, wash it off, or you can just use a baby wipe. Since I have a baby wipe out to clean my hands, I'll just use that. All right, now, let's see. Okay, this is dry. All right, let's assemble. Oh, we have to tie. So now our let me show you this. Look, here's it without the coloring, and here it is with it. Right? I'm not sure if you could see it as good. Let me put it on here. Pretty cool, huh? So you could do any color with our inks. It might rub off a little bit, but no one's going to be rubbing this. All right, so I want this to lay on my card. Let me do this. Let's get the stray pieces out of the way. So that oops, and I'm going to center that in the side. Oh, I like that. Does that look nice? Okay. Now, we don't want to put this directly on here because we're going to tie the ribbon first. So, I'm going to take my Sharpie, and I want my ribbon, the scallops on the bottom, and I want the knot off to the left. Where'd that pink or purple? Oh, that's from the other card. So I'm going to tie my knot, and I'm going to tie it, and you guys have probably, I know Lori has seen this a million times, and if you watch, make sure I'm doing this far enough away. Hang on a sec. I want, oops, let's see. Is that the darker side? I guess it doesn't matter. They're both done. All right, so I'm going to do it right about here. And I'm going to tie a knot. When I come through, now I want my scallop to be, oh geez, I'm going to do this again. Hang on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my scallop towards the top. See if that will work. Yeah, that's better, right? Because that way when I turn it down, yep. All right, and then I got to do my second knot. Now when you do your second knot, everything's sliding around. Thank you for telling me that to zoom back out, Lori. I always seem to forget that. So I want to make sure that when I tie this again, I twist it the right way so that my scallop, this doesn't happen with regular ribbon, you know, regular straight edge ribbon, or even if it's a scallop on both sides. You just got to, when you go to make that last twist, make sure your scallops are going the right way, right? Just like that. And then I'll put some adhesive. You know what I need to do? This, I'm going to put a little bit of Scotch tape under my grid pad because it is driving me nuts sliding all over the place. And stay tuned, stay all the way to the end because I'm going to give you a sneak peek of my April card class to go. That's why I have this here, because you can get it for free if you order with me during this month between the 1st and the 15th of the month. I usually have a card class. I always have a card class to go every month. And when you shop with me between the 1st and the 15th, you get it for free. And it's a kit that makes 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs. Oops, that's a little bit crooked, Donna. So let me straighten that out a bit. Okay. All right, so there's my ribbon is on there now. So I'm going to just turn this over. Oh, I think this is going to go up on dimensionals. So let me do that. And this is a big area. I don't want any sagging, so I'm going to put quite a few. All right. And that'll take forever to get them all off. And I kind of put them over the ribbons. Oops. So they hold that, they help to hold that in place. I mean, I've got, all right, I think I have them all off. Now, this is going to go on the front like this, right? Oh, you know, I think I'm liking this without all the different colors. And now this is going to go up on dimensionals. And I'm going to do my off, what do you call it? Off, well, I don't know what you call it. Off centering them so that my little label doesn't wibble wobble. Oh, I got to move these a little. Hang on a sec. Oh boy. We just get new ones. Sometimes it's just easier to pull out new ones. It was too close to the edge and I don't want you to be able to see it. So there. So I put them like off center. This doesn't wibble wobble. Remember, that's a technical term. All right. And then I put this down and I want to have, let me stay in the image, this scallop showing up underneath my sentiment, just like that. Just for a little bit of texture. And then we're going to use our pearls again. And I'm using the soft suede, the dark soft suede. And look at my tip. Can you tell that I've colored a lot of pearls? So let's see. Color that. And we didn't do... Oh, so I have a very vanilla envelope to go with this. So while my pearls, I like to let those sit for a second just to dry. While my pearls are drying, I am going to put this on the envelope. I'm trying to decide though. Do I want it in, what do you think, crumb cake or espresso? I guess espresso. So I'm going to stick with the rest, right? All right. Oops. Oh. Espresso it is. Make sure I got it the right way. And I'm going to stamp it right here. Very good. Almost looks black. Okay. I'll have to fix that later. All right. So, our envelope. Right? Get rid of some of the stuff around here. And now we just have to put our little pearls on. And, whoops, come here. I put one, maybe I'll put it over here this time. There seems to be more room over there. and just a little up in the sky. I don't know whether they're stars or what. All right, so what do you think? Oh, you know what I forgot to do? So the Sharpie Technique, I still have this. So when I tied that around the Sharpie, it made this loop. See? I don't know if you can see that. So there's this loop here, right? So what you do, I almost forgot. You cut it at an angle. Lori would have told me though. Cut it at an angle. And then you just kind of gently pull it out. And it makes this cute little knot. See that? And you can twist it. Isn't that a great way of making a knot? Now this side looks a little bit longer, so I'm just going to trim it a tiny bit. All right, so tell me what you think. You like it more plain, or do you like it with the colors? What do you think? I know there's only a couple of you left on here, but what do you think? Lori, I know you don't even like the stamp set. I was waiting to see if you would remember. Oh, if I remember to cut my little loop? Yeah. No, I needed someone to remind me. So, the envelope we did, right? I think next time I do the envelope in soft suede. I think that would be a better color. Do I have my soft suede? Let me see. Let me grab another very vanilla. Because I have 2 cards, so I might as well... And I can clean that stamp. Let's try it in soft suede. I think it's going to be prettier. You like the colors? You like the colors. Oh, you like the one with the colors? This one? Maybe I should go in and make the door red. I don't know if I liked all the different colors. So now I'm using soft suede. Right here. Yeah, I think I like the soft suede better. I think this, let's see. Margaret, you like the color too? So everybody likes the colored one, huh? All right, so those are the 2. So one I did in early espresso, one I did in the soft suede. Let me put it like this. And then we did this card in Gorgeous Grape. I am leaning towards the Gorgeous Grape because I happen to be, purple is my favorite color. What do you guys think? So I'm going to show you one thing before you go. As I had said before, my card class to go. Order with me between the 1st and the 15th, and you'll get a kit that will make 8 cards, 2 each of these designs. These are the cards. And this uses the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set, which is on back order, but you can still order it, and it might come in before you get these cards, or you just, you know, get your kit and you wait for your stamp set. And the punch is available. It uses the ice cream cone punch. Some of it, there's one that I use that I'll be punching this for you, but this one you'd want to stamp and punch also. So, but everything else, the ribbon, the die cuts, any ribbon, any twine will be included. And also, if your order is $50 or more, you'll get a pack of the pastel pearls to go with it. Okay, so that is if you use that host code until the 15th anyway. So thank you so much for watching, and this is, like I said, the garden shed is retiring. So if you like this, yes, colored. Yep, the color one better. You like that one better, Lori? Everything's delayed, so I don't see your comments right away. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Be sure to hit subscribe if you're out watching this on YouTube, and follow my Facebook page. Take care. Bye-bye.